All right, welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name is St. Cranware, Brian the Grizzly, Brandman Brandon. We got special guest back with us again, Zach Attacks Reviews. So we are going to talk about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, the weekend blockbuster that we got. But before we get into that, Zach, you want to let everyone know where they can find you at?
Yeah, you can find me on my YouTube channel at Zach Attacks Reviews and social media, Zach Attack RVS. I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, ranking lists, Throwback Thursdays, live discussions.
Throwback Thursdays, one of my favorite.
Yeah.
That's
Interstellar is coming up. I just
I'm
watched
watching
it, and my review is coming up. It might not. It might be an
No, it's
unscripted
okay.
rant. It might be an unscripted rant. I'm just telling you that right now. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
That's okay though, because it brings out those type of emotions in that. Because not all of it doesn't hit for everybody, but some of it does hit great, and some of it won't hit with you. And I think as long as it brings a thought-provoking thought from you, I'm all for it.
That's what cinema is for, man.
Yeah. Exactly. Like all cinema is art, at least to us, I think, and all art is subjective. So,
exactly.
But that being said, Indiana Jones #5.
Lead away.
Yeah, so Zach Attacks down there. He never watched any of the Indiana Joneses growing up, right? I believe. You never seen any of them. So I would recommend going to check out his review on all the Indiana Jones leading up to this one, because it's cool seeing somebody who doesn't have that nostalgia attachment to a movie watch something for the first time. It's very different than somebody who like remembers it fondly in their head because they were a kid. It's a very different feeling when you rewatch that. So check that out. So definitely why he's here is he's here as a newer viewer of the Indiana franchise.
Newer fan.
Yeah. So, and then I think the three of us, I think we all watched it growing up as kids.
Yes.
I still remember the whip, and Indiana is so cool, and he's a professor, and everyone wanted the stupid hat. He fought Nazis, so it was like, yeah, he was the cool guy, Harrison Ford, all that good stuff. But is 5 too many? Is an 80-year-old man running around? Is an 80-year-old Indiana Jones too old?
Jumping out of planes. Let's jump out of planes back in the past. What? So technically, he's not 80 at that time. He's actually negative.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that because Jesus. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So we'll get into some of the good. We'll get into some of the bad, and then we'll give our ratings at the end with the Rotten Tomatoes and other scores like that at box office. But first, Brian, you got a synopsis of what this one is about?
Done.
All right.
Daredevil archaeologist Indiana Jones races against time to retrieve a legendary dial that can change the course of history. Accompanied by his goddaughter, he soon finds himself squaring off against Jürgen Voller, a former Nazi who works for NASA. That's
former Nazi that now works for America.
Right. Well, he did put people on the moon, and that's what everyone loved. America loved him, and the CIA did whatever he asked them to do.
Yeah. So we'll start with some of the good stuff. We'll start with Brandman, Zach, Brian, and me. We'll go around that way. What you got, Brian? Or Brandon? Sorry.
I liked the opening, the first however long that was. It felt like 30 minutes. The opening sequence that was pretty cool. I liked the cinematography and the like a lot of the set design and that sort of thing. It almost didn't feel like, even though this was the only one that Steven Spielberg did not direct, James Mangold kind of emulate his style and like the tone that's very synonymous with the other Indiana Jones movies. So it didn't feel like too much of a departure, I thought, in that regard. A lot of elements that you associate with Indiana Jones, Indy fighting Nazis, obviously. They maintained that. I liked that. Harrison Ford maintained some pretty good energy, despite him notoriously being known and playing a lot of his roles nowadays as what he is, a grumpy old man at this point. But and I don't say that to be disrespectful. You know, if you've seen interviews with him, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But you know, Mads Mikkelsen, great in everything he's in. It was cool to see him. You know, so it had a lot of elements that you usually associate with indie that I thought were pretty entertaining. You know, altogether, for the most part, I found it to be an entertaining enough watch throughout.
Yep. Okay. What you got, Zach? Some of the good stuff.
Harrison Ford, man. I appreciate him for stepping right into it, playing the character the way I think he should be playing it at the age he's at. Grumpy, but as he's going on the adventure, you see the slimmers of the old Indiana Jones there. I like Phoebe Waller-Bridge as his goddaughter. I think that they played off each other really well. And for her to be like a similar character at a similar age than he went on his adventures, but she's doing it for the wrong reasons while he used to do it for the right reasons. I thought that was very, very smart. Like you said, Mads Mikkelsen, he's always great. Even if they don't give him much to do, he just makes whatever little he's given great. Yeah. The action was really, really good, but that's Indiana Jones. Even in the movies you don't like, the action is great. So, I'm glad because every Indiana Jones movie he always has like fist fights and stuff. I'm glad they didn't try to make him have a bunch of fist fights in this because I was watching it and I was like, this man can barely run. I'm so glad he's on a horse and in a car and he's running away. Because if he was trying to fist fight all these like young dudes, I'm like, okay, this movie is trash. But they didn't do that because James Mangold is a great director.
Yeah. Real quick, so there was a movie that did do that with Clint Eastwood, Cry Macho. We did a review on it back in 2 years ago.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah, and he's super old. That was before Brian joined the channel.
Dude, I would have said no. I would have put him in the dust. I'm gonna hit him so hard he's gonna turn into dust.
But that was the issue. Was like this very, very old man just standing in a spot, and all these people coming in. He's like and like beating everyone up, and I'm like, what? And like you said, I know I didn't mean to cut you off, but
no.
That's the first thing I thought about was I'm like, don't be like Clint Eastwood. And he was like,
and I'm glad that you told me that, so I don't go watch that movie.
Don't watch that movie. It was not good. It was not good.
That was the first thing David Zaslav asked him, like, why did you make him make this movie? Oh, because he's a friend of the company. So what?
So what?
Yeah.
I was dying.
I didn't know that. That's hilarious.
I like that. It felt like Indiana Jones, but it was like a little bit of James Mangold's Old Spice in there. I like seeing Antonio Banderas. I thought that was cool. And that whole water section is something different. We really haven't had that in any of the movies, so I was glad to see that. And sea snakes is hilarious to me.
Yeah.
And I really like the third act. I know a lot of people have a problem with it, and that's like the make or break of the movie. But I actually enjoyed it because of what they set up in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. What you got, Brian?
Well, I'm just gonna tell everybody something that before everyone gets, too into this. It's hard for me to admit this. I didn't like Raiders of the Lost Ark. I agree with everyone. I agree with everyone that says that he did nothing. The Nazis still would have found the Ark to Covenant. They were digging in the right place. They would have found it anyway. All the stuff still happened exactly. He did nothing. So it's kind of hard for me to go back to this. This type of stuff.
It's only one thing he did.
What did he do?
He saved Marion by telling her to keep her eyes closed. That's it. Like if he wasn't there, Marion would have died too. But all
the things that happened, nothing changed because he was there. Like it was like everyone found the same stuff. Everyone did the same stuff. Because I think about him like you really didn't do anything this entire movie, man. And then this is the movie that they're going to go for back to. So the first thing I thought of was like, yeah, you really. I wish you would have shown me some of this in the first movie, so I would know he actually did something. He didn't know he did anything with the dial, but at least we would know he actually did do something. But I know Tank's probably gonna kill me for that. But I'm just saying, I didn't feel like he did anything. I enjoyed the first half of the movie, and by the last act, though I felt like it was good, I was ready for the movie to end. It felt longer than it really was. I watched Across the Spider-Verse. It ended. I sat there for like 15 minutes, like, man, it's over. You sure? You know, when this movie ended, I didn't wait till the anything. Is there a end credit? I don't care. I want to get out of here. Just like, let's go, because I feel like it dragged along a little bit too much in the middle. But overall, I mean, it had a lot of good parts. I mean, Harrison Ford is an amazing actor, even at 80. I think he's gonna be good at Red Hulk because he's just angry and he's old and he got all the parts that you just believe in him. You know, I liked his chemistry with Phoebe. I liked his chemistry with everyone. I thought all the parts matched up. I just didn't like the flow of the movie.
It is the longest of the franchise.
Yeah,
so get to the point. You know, get to Pompeii. Well, get there. Whatever. Let's do it. But it took too long to get there, and then when it happened real fast. So you know, that's just me. So go ahead.
So what was your good? Just Harrison Ford?
Harrison Ford.
So it's like we're talking about good stuff, right?
And Nazis died. Yeah.
And yeah.
That's always good.
Yeah, that's always good. Well, and was my good. That's the thing that they actually like said a lot too. There's a part where like a Nazi was like hanging on for their life, and she's like, "Yeah, you could die. You're a Nazi." It's like
that
she's like
funny,
and I'm like, "That's funny." And I was like, and I'm like, because I feel like maybe in the world we live in today, there's a lot of people like, no, he's kind of good. It's like you need to shut up because. You know, Nazis are not good. You know, so
especially these ones.
Especially these ones. yeah. You know, so yeah. But right off the bat, I thought some of the good stuff. Harrison Ford was great. I thought some of the graphics were good. I mean, the opening scene where they do de-age whatever. I was like,
deep fake type.
Wow. Even like Erica, like she goes, that looks amazing. I was like, I know. I'm like, and then he starts talking. I'm like, oh, he looks 30, but he sounds 80. So I was like, okay, he always had a raspy voice. Yeah, something, man. Because he always had a raspy kind of voice, but it was extra like raspy. I was like, ugh.
Like 6 packs a day raspy.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, that opening sequence I thought was great. That was a great way because it kind of pulled you into like remember how good the young Indy was, and you're like yeah, and then it just cuts to the now time or not now time, but the 70s I believe. Right? Was it 70s?
69.
60s, right?
Okay. Yeah. It was
with on the moon landing.
Yeah, 69. So it was really really cool with that, and the graphics were pretty awesome. The acting all together, I liked Phoebe. Antonio Banderas was awesome. The action was great, and he was even like, I like how he kind of made fun of itself a little bit too, where it's like, he's whipping. It was in the trailer too, so this is definitely not a spoiler. He's whipping, and he was like, get back, and they all pull out their guns. He's like, oh yeah, it's like, yeah, man,
can't do that no more.
Yeah, they don't work like that no more.
But then he's 80, he's still jumping out of windows. I was like, all right, come on, bro.
He said, we got automatics now. Let's stop.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Well, I'm gonna see some of the other stuff for the bad. But it was fun enough where I'm like, okay. I went in expecting just trash, complete trash, and I didn't get it. Oh, this is a spoiler, so close your ears, earmuffs, whatever. I am so glad they killed Shia LaBeouf. I am so glad they killed Shia LaBeouf. Everything from that movie needs to die. Like everything from the Crystal Skull needs to die. That was horrible, and
I wasn't a fan of. I wasn't a fan of his character. I didn't.
No.
I didn't care for a lot.
I was wondering. I'm like, what are they going to do with his son? Like, what are they going to do with Shia LaBeouf? And I thought what they did was good, And then it kind of it serves the story. It serves the character, so much too. It's like why he was always kind of an a-hole. Not really an a-hole, but like, and then now you're like, oh, he woke up, he's all angry, yelling at the kids. He was legit like, shut up over there, once they cut to him into the 60s. So, but I thought that was
fist at clouds.
Yeah. I thought that was good because I'm like, they have to handle it somehow because it does unfortunately exist. But yeah, I was like, yeah, they killed Shia. You know, not you know, the actual. I don't even remember what his character's name was.
Can you say Mutt? Because
is his name? I forgot what his name is.
Jesus Christ! YouTube is scanning this video right now. It's just like, shut this shit down.
I know. Because I don't remember if that was his name. It was like Indy Junior. Mutt.
I think it's a play on the fact that his father's named after a dog.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Unaliving
Shia.
Crazy.
Unalive him. But no, Shia is cool. I kind of he's a little crazy, but he's a good actor.
Yeah, that was around the time where Hollywood was really trying to make him a thing.
Yeah, and also he like I gotta love Shia because he plays Chaz Kramer in Constantine. So, I love that.
you know the love-hate relationship I have with that movie.
Yeah, the Constantine. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't like Shia since even Stevens. I didn't like him then.
It's holes. Yeah. So there's some of the good stuff. So before we move on and get some of these comments real quick so they don't build up. Xavier said, AKA Indy 5 and the Wayfinder. Jorge, according to that 60 million opening weekend, too old, I guess. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
That's exactly what you expected, though.
Yeah, that was right there. And then Cookie said, "Oh my God, Indy's really fighting Nazis again." Yep.
That's his thing. The Nazis are basically the Joker to Indy's Batman. So yeah.
I think it's only one movie you never fought them, right? Temple of Doom.
Yep.
Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
Which was the prequel to Raiders. You know.
Yeah, and Nazis are also an easy bad guy. Like you're always gonna cheer for whoever is punching a Nazi. So
yeah.
Jorge said it's Sunday actually had a good. I'm gonna save that one for later. That was talking about box office. I'm happy to hear Harrison Ford held it down. Yeah, he did.
He did.
He really did.
He's probably the best part. Him and Mads Mikkelsen is probably the best part of the entire movie.
Yeah, and Mads Mikkelsen is just awesome in anything he's in. So.
Yeah. He brings everything up a notch. He really does. The way he is. Also, he plays a bad guy so damn well.
Yeah,
like so well. I mean, like the beginning and the end, I could really, I could feel the time my theater clap though. So I'm happy that that they really enjoyed it.
Yeah, mine.
Did they clap? I don't think mine did.
Mine's people are started to clap, but I told you the average age in my theater was like 100. It was crazy. I was like, I literally thought a retirement center bus came up and like all of them got out and they all came in my one theater. It was crazy. Like people, and trying to get out, we had to wait because people in walkers, people in wheelchairs. It was crazy, man. Average age was like
down the stairs. Like, boom, boom, boom.
So funny.
Like, I gotta wash him. Oh man, that's funny. But yeah, no one clapped in my theater. I've never been in a theater where people clap besides Infinity
you
War.
went like a Saturday morning, like
I did. I usually go super early.
No one's like even awake. People still sleep. Like
what?
Yeah,
they clapping their lips. What?
Exactly.
We usually go as early as we can. So, yep. Do it while baby sleeps. I forgot that one. Yeah, it feels a bit long. Yep, they could have shaved off a good 20 minutes or so.
In the middle.
At least. And Xavier said the de-aging looks good, but they should have worked on that voice a little longer. They just figured like, oh, it's your voice, so you could just say, I was like, oh.
Yeah, you had a couple packs that day, huh?
Well, you know, they had Sigourney Weaver playing a teenage girl in Avatar 2 and didn't bother to tweak her voice.
You bring it in
every video.
That's gonna be your.
He's right though. It's
Melissa Barrera.
In my defense,
she's redeemed. I gotta try.
Yeah, in my defense, Melissa Barrera, newfound respect for her after Scream 6, so she's off the hook. James Cameron, however, is not.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Agree. Crystal Skull truly remains the worst indie. I agree.
That's not even hard to say. Like, it's like, yeah.
I thought this one was gonna be. You don't agree with that?
Wow.
I like it more than Temple of Doom and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh
Sorry.
my god,
I don't know if I
Mario.
like Crystal Skull is so bad.
Crystal Skull.
I
My
don't
my
think
whole
it's
thing about
slow
Razor
at
and
all.
Lost Ark, I just didn't see him as he did anything. He didn't change nothing.
No,
barely
he
a
just
plot.
he chased almost.
Shit is
He's
just
like,
happening in that movie.
Yeah.
It was an adventure. That's all.
Yeah. Who you said? Yes, my theater was full of older people. Never seen that before. I watched a lot of indie films. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't go to indie films; they go to blockbusters.
Yeah. Like my showing of Past Lives had way more diverse age range. I bet.
Of course.
Yeah. Crystal Skull was so bad. South Park did an episode about it. It did. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I do not like Crystal Skull. Aliens, get your aliens out of here.
I love the aliens. That spaceship shit was fire. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh man. And we're gonna talk about the ending with this one in a little bit too. All right, so let's get into the bad. Brandon, what you got for some bad stuff, man?
All right, yeah, I'll hop into the bad. By the way, after I get into the bad, I just need a break for a couple minutes because I really need to go to the bathroom. I've been holding it. But,
All right, man.
So there's a flip side to some of the merits that I said about it. Like maybe it was just me, or maybe I need to rewatch it. But the de-aging on Harrison Ford at the beginning just wasn't doing it for me.
Yeah.
Like it was giving me Jeff Bridges and Tron Legacy flashbacks to an extent.
Okay.
I think that I was really excited when I heard Phoebe Waller-Bridges was cast in this movie because I really enjoyed her on Fleabag. But the character of Helena Shaw, I couldn't stand her. I didn't like her.
Understood. I can understand that.
You know, there's a fine line between being like kind of snarky and roguish and like a smart ass, but have that sense of you can do that and still be charming, and her character just wasn't to me. I couldn't stand her. Like I almost disliked her even more than Mutt. You know,
Yeah.
I think that her constantly ragging on Indy and giving him shit for his age and stuff like that. I'm like, if you don't put some respect on this man, I think that, like what else was there? Even her sidekick, the kid, I didn't hate him. I started tuning him out. Like there were times where I almost forgot he was even.
How did he learn how to fly a damn plane?
Yeah. And the other thing I was going to say, and this must be like a curse placed on Mads Mikkelsen, but more often than not, whenever he plays a villain in movies, sometimes it feels like the filmmakers always underutilize him, which is criminal considering his talents. They did it in Doctor Strange, even in the even in the last Fantastic Beasts, which was a forgettable movie anyway, they kind of underutilized him, I thought. So, and I was hoping things would be a little different here. I think that the third act, I think, was like the biggest part that kind of had like the middle going towards the going into the third act kind of had a little trouble holding my attention. Like we said, it dragged. There were some things that could have kind of been trimmed, and I think I'd say those were pretty much mine as far as I can think of right now.
Okay.
I'm
What you got, Zach?
I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay. All right.
I think that short round 2.0 didn't work out as well as they thought it was going to. I think that it was a missed opportunity to. So one of my big gripes, and I said this in my review, was that all the indie films, even Crystal Skull, has a bit of goofiness in it that makes it very endearing. And this movie was super serious with Indy, and he's usually part of the goofiness, and they missed the opportunity of making Teddy goofy and fun, and every time he showed on screen doing something to interject that goofy nature into it, because I would have loved that juxtaposition of like he's old and down and he's in the darkness, and these two goofy idiots are coming here and they're kind of bringing him to the light, which is what Helena kind of did, but they could have really did it with Teddy. The character's not bad and the actor's not bad. It's just a wasted opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see how like ungoofy the film is, it's like it makes it more of a sore spot. I do think the film is probably too long. I don't know about 20 minutes, but I think they could have shaved some time down. It didn't need to be the longest indie film ever, especially if you're not bringing all the old characters back. If this is not an adventure that's like if they would have done, this is time stuff is happening. It's in the trailer, so it's not a big spoiler. If you're not like revisiting his past events and doing some like end game shit, it didn't have to be that long. So I can say that. Other than that, like I favor this movie probably a little bit more than you guys. So that's probably the only negatives I have for it, is the fact that it wasn't funny and goofy enough compared to the past films. And they probably could. Oh yeah, Mads Mikkelsen. He should have been dead. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, on a train, getting hit by a piece of metal.
Oh, yeah.
And he has not a scar on his face.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
At least that. That's what I said. Also, when he showed up again, I was like, oh, he got to be maimed. He got to be wearing an eye patch. He got to be nothing. Nothing. I was like, what? This man, what?
Yeah.
He got a metal plate in his head or
He
something?
said, I got physics, man. Physics.
I
thought they were going to tie it in with the dial. No, they was just like, nah, he's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I forgot about it like halfway through, and then when you just remind me, I'm like, how does he look okay? Like,
after a while, I was like, whatever. It's what's it called? It's Indiana Jones. I can't take this franchise too seriously. All these movies are stupid as fuck. But still, he should have been dead. He shouldn't even have a head. It should have been his nephew. It should have been his son that looks like him. It can't just be him.
Twin brother.
I come for revenge for my fault. Something. I was like, nah, he's fine.
I forgot about that.
He actually hit the train. It hit him. That's what it was.
See, what you missed? He put his hand up right at the last second, and that took all the force.
Bruh.
Yeah.
If those were the prosthetic hands, that's a lie. Like, that hand should have right off. Well, yeah, so those are probably my three negatives. It's just like that he should have died. They should have made Short Round 2.0 funnier, and the movie could have been a little shorter.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Brian?
You say force. That's I think it literally took some leaps of faith for me to believe a lot of crap in this movie. A lot of stuff. Like it was on the edge of like, is this a Fast and Furious movie? Like I didn't believe half the crap that was going on. It just really didn't, it didn't engage with me. Kind of what Brandon said about Phoebe Waller-Bridge. She was annoying as hell to me. It just didn't make any sense why she was such an asshole, especially at the beginning. Like I didn't understand what was going on.
I understood. She kind of explained it.
That she was mad.
My father died. That's my godfather. He did not come for me. You just left me out there in the wild of the wilderness. F you. I don't care how many times you beat Nazis. It's about me.
Exactly. I didn't understand that. I was like, come on, man. But it is what it is. I think the other thing I didn't really understand. So, Mads Mikkelsen is a great actor. It's fine. I didn't really understand his motivation as a villain. Like, it was like physics was like he's all about math and physics, right? That's all his thing was. Then why did he want to become Fuhrer? Like I didn't understand. Like it didn't make it like he could do anything,
Nazi, though.
But he could have done anything.
But I think in the beginning of the movie, he said he goes, "We're losing this war because Hitler sucks."
Makes he's making bad decisions.
He's making bad decisions and
I can do
stuff
better.
like that. I could do better because I'm smarter.
But you could do anything. And as a mathematician, it just his personality.
Remember, he's a Nazi. Yeah. They're also very dumb. It like counteracts it. You can't be like, well, you're the greatest scientist ever. I'm also a Nazi though.
So all stupidness can come with you too. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. He could have done so many. He could have been the guy beside the guy with all the real power. Like, he could have made so many different decisions.
Even Andy called him out. Andy thought he was gonna go to like the beginning of time and do something, and he said, "No, I'm gonna go kill the Fuhrer." And he's like, "What?"
No, and become Fuhrer.
You stupid.
It was like, so what's his motivation? I had no idea any sense. That was just
Did my headphones mess up?
No, mine too. I don't know. It might have been
uh-uh.
Brian's.
Maybe it was the thing I had open, but it just didn't make any sense to me. I thought that was weird. I thought it was too long. I was bored in the middle of it. Like I didn't care about the characters that much. You know, sometimes you want to have that connection with characters. I really didn't care. It was like, okay, you know, only person I cared about was Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, and I told you I didn't like Raiders of the Lost Ark. So any movie that's going back to that point in time, I'm gonna be like, yeah, okay, whatever.
You just like dislike that movie?
I just thought it didn't make sense. I always thought that he didn't really matter. So why am I going back to visiting something that he didn't matter? Because I thought other movies he didn't matter, and that he actually the story is only told because of him being there. So
okay.
So I mean, I don't know if I don't want to call it lazy writing. It's just more like, why are you rehashing the same story when you could do more with it? If you're going to really end this franchise, you know, with a bang, give me a banger. Don't just tell me the story again in different viewpoint. It's like Lion King 1.5. I don't want to see Lion King 1.5, bro. Give me another story, you know?
I like that movie.
Yeah, like it's good. I like seeing it from somebody else's viewpoint.
Not the same movie. I don't want you to end the franchise with it. Like, just, there you go.
Yeah.
We're going to give you from this point of view. Like,
Yeah. Well, we did get the little hint at the end where he hung up his hat and then snatches it away.
His hat back. Yeah. No, I know why you snatched that hat back, because she said, hey, get the hat back. Get the hat, baby.
Yeah. It ain't another movie. It's like, we about to go make a new Mutt.
It's a new adventure right here. Let's go give you an adventure.
Mutt 2. Oh man. Yeah, man, some of my bad stuff, it was too long for me. It was just way too long. Right, like you said, right in the middle, it could have cut a little bit out. I was really pissed off on like that these Nazis are literally killing everyone. Everyone. They made I don't even remember her name, but she was like the stereotypical kind of like black female detective.
The Mason, the CIA agent.
The CIA agent. Yeah. And I expected her to have some cool role. She was gonna be somebody like a little side character that's gonna be really cool, helping, like she's gonna flip sides and help Indy. And she dies. I'm like,
she had a good presence. When I was looking at her,
yeah,
you have a presence on the screen.
That's why I'm like, she's gotta be. Yeah, I'm like, she's gotta be something in this film, you know. And I love those stupid ass like characters that always like who did in oh my god, the one Will Ferrell where he's a basketball player, you know, semi-pro, yeah. You know, and it's based you know, in the 60s or 70s or whatever, and it's like, oh, jive ass turkey, and that's what I was expecting her the whole time, was just like that like what somebody thinks what it was to be back then, you know, like she looked the part, and she was just really cool, and you know, she constantly called out the Nazis like, what the F you doing, what the F you, and then the way they just like they shot her. I'm like, what?
Yeah, what? Just did away with her. I hated that.
You know, and then why would she even trust them, seeing that they just go in there and bang, 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 you know, shoot everybody? And she's like, "You guys need to stop that." It was like, what? It's like y'all need to arrest them.
She didn't see the hotel room, how she treated that black man. Like the way I would have saw that, I'd be like, yeah, nah, I check this. I gotta go.
Together. Yeah.
I don't think she was in the hotel. She wasn't in the hotel.
Was she? I don't remember.
No,
I can't remember if she was or not.
She was tracking Indy when that happened.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're right. You're right.
Yeah. But she saw what he did in the office in Indy's school office, whatever it was.
I think she thought they were just really reckless, because she even was just like, I called them and it was like, you're coming in because you're ODing. So I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
But they were just killing people, just random professors in the college.
Oh yeah, bang! You saw bang. It was like it started becoming a skit almost. Like who else saw? Like I'm like, you know, it was like going around.
I thought they were gonna pull that off when the elevator opened. I thought a bunch of people were
another one
in and then shooting. I was like, oh no, I hope James Mangold don't do this. And
I know. Yeah. Well, I mean, it was already one too many, but yeah, I was really hoping for her because she seemed like cool. You know, I'm like, okay, I like her, and I thought she was
like
going to be a big role.
You could have been a Shaft type of character that could have brought it to a different spin to it.
Yeah,
she was in Black Panther, yeah.
Which one was she in Black Panther?
She didn't have a big,
like small role.
She was one of the Dora Milaje, like the unnamed one.
Yeah. So I did really like her. I was like really upset that he killed her. I hated her death too. It pissed me off. Yeah, it was just so unnecessary. It was like, why introduce somebody who was like so cool, and so like kind of like she was like already kind of like angry at the Nazis. At the time we didn't know they were Nazis yet. So
just, unceremoniously kill her.
Yeah,
offer like that.
Just so and I thought that was kind of like
I kind of saw it coming though. As soon as she said, "What are you guys doing?" I was like, "Oh, she's gonna."
Yeah.
They're Nazis.
Yeah, exactly.
That's always the answer. If you guys are confused about anything that's done in this, they're Nazis.
Yep.
It's like the Force.
I mean,
this is what it is.
Yeah. But I was like, well, I forgot who I told, but that's how it is. Like, if you need a bad guy, Nazis are always easy because you can explain everything away because they're Nazis. So.
Is it weird that every time I saw Indiana Jones when he's dressed, the way he was dressed, it reminded me of Spaceballs?
Really? Oh.
Yeah, because you remember, like they couldn't dress him like
Luke, so they made him look like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, exactly. So every time that's the first thing I think. I was like, man, I gotta go see Spaceballs again. That's true.
Yeah, that's the whole point of why they did that in Spaceballs.
It was hilarious. Yeah.
But the one thing I really didn't like is I saw what the ending was gonna become. And I'm like, don't do it, don't fucking do it, don't. And they did it, and it was so stupid. For me, I thought that was really stupid. And then he's like, I need to stay. Are you stupid? like what? Like you just like all this stuff is like I need to stay. And she's like, you can't. Like what are you talking about? It's like you can't stay here. So I thought that was like a little too much. There's parts of me that it felt like it was imitating Indiana Jones movie almost. So it's like, oh, this is what I think would happen in the Indiana Jones movie. It wasn't enough that I was like, it pulled me out too much, but that ending was just so much. It's I don't know. But also, like, I go back and I think I'm like, a lot of Indiana Jones endings are off the chain. They're just crazy off the wall. Like, and here everyone's face is gonna melt. Like what?
Every single one is crazy.
Yeah, that's why I was like, you know what? Maybe they're all a little crazy. Yeah. So it's not the worst thing. But I was like, don't do what I think you're gonna do. And they did it. I was like,
I think the ending with me and why I liked it. I think that with the way they set it up in the beginning, with him being a man out of time, no one wants him anymore. He's been stuck in the past. His wife is gone. His son is gone. And he finally found the thing that he's been researching and loving, and he's like, "I'm just gonna stay here. Fuck all this president shit. What am I?" She even said, "He's like, what am I going back for?"
Yeah.
And that was kind of the whole thing of like his goddaughter bringing him out of that darkness and back, and then getting Marion at the end. I think, and plus he was shot, so he was a little delusional.
He was kind of dying.
He said he was shot 9 times. So I mean, come on, man.
Well, but that was like 20 years ago. He's 81 now.
He's on those blood thinners.
Yeah, like he was climbing up that wall. He even said it. He was like, "Why am I climbing up this wall? I have a screw in my knee."
Yeah. He said, "Your dad shot me."
Yeah, like she's like, "Really?" Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I like those parts. But yeah. Like I said, it didn't ruin the movie because I kind of saw what was coming. I'm like, okay,
What really ruined it if he actually stayed. I was like, oh hell.
That would have been so stupid.
Yeah.
She would open up a history book and Archimedes is wearing like the Indy hat and the whip or some shit.
Like, yeah, I had me worried that they were going to go that way.
When you saw the watch on his wrist, I was worried about the watch on his wrist. I was like, so no one else said anything about this watch all this time on Archimedes, because when they found the body, and then he had the watch on there, like in the sculptures all had propellers from planes and stuff like that. I was like, all right.
No one's ever seen that before. That was the first time anybody ever saw that tomb.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, it made sense because then I like that. That was a good twist because I was like, oh, he traveled in time, and that's what everyone thought that what happened, that Archimedes traveled through time and came to the future. I'm like, oh,
I thought that wasn't Archimedes. I thought it was gonna be Indy.
I did too.
I thought Archimedes was going to die. He's going to get shot with an arrow, and Indy was going to take his place as Archimedes. And Indy was going because he knew exactly all of it. Yeah, I thought that was going to happen. I was like, this.
Once they went back in time, I'm like, that's what they're going to do. Like Archimedes is going to die, and then like his apprentice is like, you're the new Archimedes. You know, it's like,
Oh
You
my
have to
God! I'm
continue
so
my
glad they didn't do
story.
that.
yeah, I thought that's what I thought it was gonna keep going. I'm like, oh, they're already down this craziness hole. Let's see how, because I'm like, if this is his last hurrah, then he needs to be gone. You know, and that's what I thought, and I'm so glad they didn't do that. I'm so glad they
Let's
didn't.
just retire the character and make him happy because that's too much. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
I would
what
have got
was
up and walked out. I wouldn't even went to the
You're
credits.
like,
I'm like, nah, I'm good.
done.
I never walked out of a movie before. That would have been it. I'm like, okay, this is the one right here.
Yeah. Well, in my theater, the last 7 minutes, something happened and power got off,
Oh my God.
and all the lights went off, everything went off, and we were all just kind of sitting there like, what? Like he had just like he's just got on the hill and was dying, and she was like, you can't stay, and then power died. I'm like, oh, come on. Yeah.
No.
Luckily it came back on like in 10 minutes or so. Probably maybe a little less, but yeah. I was like, if I gotta come and watch this entire movie again for 10 minutes, I'll be so pissed. I'm like, no, I'm staying here until you put it back on.
That reminds me when I went to go see the Death and Reign of Superman. You know those two separate animated movies.
Yeah.
They put it into theater, but like as one movie. So they put both of
nice.
them, and there's an intermission in between because obviously it's long ass movies. And the power went out, and I was like, "Oh no! I don't want my money back. Put the movie back on. Taking it backup generators, solar power. I don't know what you got to do. Figure it out.
Put the hamster on the wheel. I don't care what's going on, but we doing it today.
I'll be the hamster. Make me be able to see the screen.
Like you go up there, just I'll hold it up. You put a flashlight, and I just want to see all the stills.
Let's do this.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go around one more time and let you guys, if there's something you guys missed, liked, or didn't like, that you forgot, I'll say that. But before, I'll let you guys think about that, and then I'm gonna cut to some of these comments. Jorge said, I think they mentioned him being into planes or something. One of the first things he says to Indy is about the Wright Brothers. Yeah, so he's been studying. Yeah, and I think when he was in the bar, he had made a makeshift cockpit, and some drunk pilot was like, "Oh, then you do this." So it was like,
yeah, he was.
So and that was enough for him to fly a plane to the past and be able to fly better than the other guys that are flying the plane because they didn't get shot down. Okay, you're right. Okay.
Well, I think the fact that their plane was giant and they were shooting machine guns out of the window, I think that's why they got shot down.
It don't matter. It's a dragon still. Like, it's still a flying thing, bro. Like,
to me, that was the most like Nazi explanation. Is like, why are they shooting like, ships, and like they know they're not in the right time, and the guy's like, get out of the way. Bah, bah, bah. I was like, dude, like,
no, just go land somewhere safely and chill out. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, no, that's another thing. It's a little silly, but it's whatever. He wanted, he wanted the Nazis to win. Yeah. He was very racist to the hotel room service guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was a piece of shit.
Usually Nazi are.
But I would say, that's the same stuff that would happen today. But whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. They could. You gonna say something?
Oh no, I'll wait my turn. Go ahead.
All right. Said, they completely wasted her character. I thought they were going to do something with her, and then she died. Yeah, with the CIA agent. Super upset. I hated death too. And then, what's up? We got, who's this? How you pronounce that? Baberjon?
Yeah.
Is that right? Close enough?
Maybe Arjan, probably.
Maybe Arjan.
Yeah.
All right. But, hey, welcome. I don't think I've seen you before, so welcome. He goes, there's something wrong when you're only halfway LOLing laughing out loud once in the 3-hour indie movie.
I don't even know if it was allowed. Like it was like ha!
Yeah. It was like a.
But honestly, I don't be laughing out loud in indie movies. They're not that funny.
Nah.
Only one is Last Crusade, and that's my favorite one because him and Sean Connery are gold.
Oh yeah.
I just watch Sean Connery anytime.
Yeah. Rest in peace to a goat.
Yep. Oh man, he was great. House of Nerd Show, what's up? Hey, what's up? Glad Sergio's back.
Yeah, because if it was Elle, she would have said something smart, so it's Sergio.
yeah. Or you said I would have died laughing if that happened with him becoming Archimedes.
I'll tell you, I thought that was going to happen. Archimedes was going to get shot, and then he was going to I have to continue the story, and he was going to stay there as Archimedes, and you're going to see a picture of Archimedes, and it'll be Indiana Jones. I was like, oh, this mother.
Yeah.
For a minute, I thought the same thing.
Yeah. That she was gonna come back to the normal time, like in 70s or whatever, and open up a book, and it's like, oh, there's my godfather. It's like, what? That's how I thought it was gonna end. That's how I thought she would like close the book and like put it back up or something stupid, and
then it goes into like another role of like from Raiders of the Lost Ark, goes in all those rooms where there's all these warehouses with all these things in his boxes. He's put another boxes there. Oh, that would be hilarious.
I would have cut the power. That's what you get for supporting a KK film.
That's a huge point too. I'm almost okay that it's not doing well, because if Catherine Kennedy's gone, that's a win for all of us. We all win.
Yeah, she needs to be gone. Toxic Gamer, what's up? Because I thought it was definitely better than Kingdom of Crystal Skull, but that, my opinion, might change over time, maybe after a rewatch. There you go. They said I was a little sad that Short Round didn't pop up.
Yeah, I was holding on to hope that he would, but
I think this was in filming before he popped off on everything everywhere all at once.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was
possible.
I think they shot this nearly 2 years ago, starting in summer of 2021, if I'm not mistaken.
I was like, I thought he looked younger. I mean, they look at a day over 78.
Can't tell. I mean, it would have been cool if somehow Teddy was related to Short Round. I think that would have been a cool way to like tie Indiana Jones to like this other kid and stuff like that. But I don't know. But all right, you guys got any last goods or bads before we move on to our ratings?
The other thing that I meant to say is I didn't really get a wow factor from this movie. There was nothing that really like blew me out of the water with it. It just, so in that regard, it kind of felt underwhelming. This movie really, if I'm being honest, and this is coming from someone who loves pretty much anything Indiana Jones related, this movie really just didn't need to exist. If I'm being honest, you can tell when a movie's made just for the sake of making it, and they just made this just for the sake of making it. They really could have. As someone who loves the adventure genre to the point of being frustrated that we don't get enough of them, it just felt very flat and uninspired. Like I said, ever since Disney acquired it, they just made it all in the name of milking it some more. It really, nothing really grabbed me. Granted, I definitely did like it more than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but there's a lot of things I like more than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. But
like everything in life.
Yeah, it really just didn't need to put some effort into it, other than just the set design and the cinematography, because that was the only thing that I was really kind of wowed or not even wowed, just kind of that was my favorite thing about the movie. Other than that, it just nothing really stood out. There was nothing standout about it. The movie just kind of exists.
It went through the steps.
Yeah. It's very much, we don't have to work too hard. People are going to pay for it anyway. It had that kind of energy.
I can see that. Okay. Any last goods or bads that you might have missed for Zach?
No,
one more thing. I'm so sorry. One more thing. I'm so sorry. Boyd Holbrook is great at playing a dick. He is so good at it.
Oh, yeah.
Boyd Holbrook plays a remarkable dick. He's so good at that. I just wanted to throw that in there.
He does need to freshen up his shtick a little bit. He kind of is the same
bad guy,
no matter what.
Yeah.
I can
so
see that,
he just he needs to add a little twist.
The same yeah. So yeah, good on him, because I instantly disliked his character.
Yeah, he has a very punchable face.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I
That
hate to
from
say because I
Logan.
like him. Yeah, because I like him as an actor. Yeah.
Indy, that was like the one guy Indy kept punching in the face. That's so funny that now I'm thinking about it. Like the one fist fight he was getting, it was just knocking him out. That was probably his dream as a kid. He says, "I just want to get hit in the face by Indiana Jones." And Harrison Ford's like, "I can beat you 7 times in this movie."
I can make it happen. Let's go.
I like this movie a lot more than you guys did. I left the theater with a smile, and I was happy with the way it ended. I like the fitting. I thought it was a fitting ending for the character. For him to be holding on to the past his whole life, and his whole problem he had was with his father. He finally becomes a father, and then loses that, and loses his way, and then his surrogate daughter kind of brings him out of it after him mistreating women his whole life. So I like all those things to be and how that tied together, and I just was so happy to see him and Marion. As much as I dislike her character,
Yes.
get back together and her take care of him and raise him back up in his lowest. I don't know. I enjoyed the hell out of this movie.
Brian, any last good or bad that you forgot to mention?
Only thing I didn't talk about was Olivier Reichter, whatever, the big guy, the 7'2" guy, the big guy.
Oh yeah.
Because it's dealing with Nazis and all that stuff, I thought of him as like a golem, a guy like a clay man, but who would protect other Nazis. That's all I kept on thinking. I thought that I was going to end up being what everyone shows, like, oh, he's actually not a guy. He created this guy, and that's why he's so big. He's able to like protect him, and that was always the story. Like, is a Jewish folklore, right? Golem, a clay man will be able to go and he'll protect the guys, and he's one who turned, and now he's protecting a Nazi. That's what I thought of the entire time. But besides that, it wasn't very believable.
Sophisticated for a Indiana Jones movie.
That was a little too smart for its own good.
And any Indiana Jones movie. Too much.
But that's my only problem. I wish they would have done, if you're going to send the character off, send it off with the original story, send it off well. Do something that we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you guys say he didn't punch too many people out. I don't know what 80-year-old man is going to ever punch me in the jaw and going to knock me out. Not happening, bro.
Well, you're much bigger than that bold person, whatever his name is.
Boyd,
yeah, you're much bigger than him. So.
No, he's 7'2".
No, I'm not talking about the Gollum guy. I'm talking about the guy with the face.
Boyd Klaber. Klaber.
He's a tiny guy.
He should see the punch coming. Because it was like he was moving like this. You didn't want him like this.
Don't do that to Indy.
He's like,
don't do that to Indy. He's older than I thought he was. Holy shit.
Yeah.
What, 80? Yeah.
No, not Boyd, whatever his name is.
Boyd.
Yeah, he's like 42. Shit.
Oh shit! I thought it was gonna be more early 30s.
Yeah.
But half his age. So I got. So I got two that I forgot to mention. One was, it's kind of a good and a bad. That the last thing with Miriam, I thought it was cute and everything, and then my mind went into like, why didn't we get that in Star Wars? Then I got angry. I was like, why didn't we get Han and Leia in fucking Star Wars? I got irrationally angry in the theater at the very end. And I told my girl, like, I was leaned over, I'm like, that's all I wanted from the fucking sequels was Han and Leia. Like a nice like love scene, like not even like crazy, just like, oh, like, hey, like the her tear, the kiss the elbow thing. I'm like, oh, that's great. And then I'm watching these two old people. I'm like, I wanted that in Star Wars. Why couldn't you give me that in Star Wars? Why'd you have to kill everyone, jackass? Like,
you don't deserve it.
I got so angry, man. I was like, that's all I wanted. Han and Leia one more time together, getting over their shithead, son, that they all gave up hope on. I was, so I thought it was good. And then
it's funny. I think you're saying it, but that's 100% true. It's so true.
And because I'm sitting, I'm like, oh, that's cute. And then I'm looking at these two old people. I'm like, wait, we could have got this shit in Star Wars, and it would feel even better than this.
Yeah.
So mad. But that's personal, a lot of personal shit. And then the other thing that I thought was good was, I forgot what her name. I didn't see. That's why I'm like iffy about this movie. The Phoebe, the goddaughter, Helena. She wasn't a replacement, and for months now, all these dickhead YouTubers like, oh, it's going woke, and we're replacing another woman with another man. It was like, that's not what happened. That's not happened. All she's like the anti indie, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, she goes on adventures and shit like that, but she did it for like Zach Attack, she did it for all the wrong reasons, you know. So that's why I liked, and it never at any point set it up that she's gonna continue the adventures and she's gonna become the professor and take over his class and shit like that. That never happened. And plus, I don't think she can even
steal stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She probably even can't travel the world because, like, everywhere she goes, somebody wants her dead. So,
yeah.
And that's one thing I liked. I'm like, okay, good. They didn't pass it along, and all these dumbass YouTubers that are like, oh, they're just replacing another man with a woman, and it didn't happen, you know. And it made more sense why she was in the movie, because she was family almost.
Yeah.
You know, so I did like that part of it, that she wasn't taking over the whip and the hat. You know what I mean?
Well,
she was her own
thing
character.
is, most of those people are not even going to be watching this movie. They
No.
just make those videos leading up to it to get clicks.
Yeah, and I was never worried about anything happening like that anyway. It's, you know, it's gotten to the point where people just automatically believe something's going to happen just because angry people on the internet decree it or claim it's happening. So.
Yeah. And these are the same people that are probably going to get mad that the Nazis lost at the end of this movie. So,
yeah.
Oh, wow. That was drop the mic, bro.
You know how I feel about it. Yes. All right. So we'll get into rings real quick. And then Toxic said he agreed with Brandman. You know, definitely. Don't get me wrong, I thought the ending for that was good, send off, but not great as Crusade. Yep. Uncharted probably going to end up with a better box office gross for like action. I mean, Uncharted is probably the best one to compare it to.
That's not fair,
it's
though.
Adventure. It's an adventure movie.
Adventure genre.
Uncharted didn't open up in a busy ass month.
No. Yeah, against.
No, but I mean, look at the box office,
Spider-Man,
guys.
Jennifer Lawrence boobies, and
but nothing.
Flash.
Nothing compared to it. Did you look at the numbers for this box office weekend? Like, there's nothing compared to it. Indiana blew everything else out of the water, but it wasn't that good. So no one went. It's not going to have good legs.
No. This is going to drop so hard the next couple weeks. Like, it's going to drop so hard. That's the guy from Logan. It is the guy from Logan. I thought it was a cute callback at the end when they told her to kiss the elbow. Yeah, it was super cute. It was. I didn't know I wanted it, and then they gave it to me. I was like, okay, I liked it. You know, it was a nice little ending to Indy's story. Can we also point out how the bad guy just walked away from the faint scar that would begin the scene? Yeah.
A pummel on train while going 60 miles an hour and falling off the train.
Maybe
he did fall off the train.
He fell off the train afterwards. Like after he got hit, he fell off the train going 60 miles an hour.
Maybe a skeleton was made of adamantium. James Mangold did direct 2 Wolverine movies.
There you go. That explains why Logan. The bad guy was in it.
He said he was Logan.
He was Logan. He's the Nazi Logan. Yeah. I don't know. Also, Harrison Ford is great shape for his age. He really is.
No, for real.
That first scene when he got up out the chair, I was like, whoa.
I was like, man, if I'm 80, I look like that, I'm winning. You winning.
He got out of the chair. I was like, good job.
He going crazy as President Hulk.
Yeah, he really is. Then Jim Meyers like, breach.
I think that's the whole Hans Leia thing that we were talking about.
The rant. I also like Helena. I thought she was good. I thought she was fun. Dang, shooting bullets to those content creators. Yeah, thank you. Okay, I don't need to defend that. It has a B+ CinemaScore. Same Flash, or like Flash. Not great science for legs.
Which is interesting though, but its international numbers are actually not that bad. International numbers are actually more than domestic.
B+ is not even a bad CinemaScore grade. It's a B you have to worry about. The thing with the Flash is like most of the people that have seen it like it for the most part.
Most people are not going
It's
to go
just
see
most
it.
people are not going to see it, and it's not the quality of the film that's affecting these movies. It's the marketing and the fact that people are going to see Little Mermaid. People are going to go see Across the Spider-Verse. People are still watching fucking Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Like, what? People are going to see Transformers because that got good word of mouth. So it's like
Not by a
it's just
tank.
too much. I know. Yeah, we went through that.
I'm not the only one. I watched him House of Nerds show, and I'm like, yes, I'm not the only one that didn't like it.
I was like poking the bear.
But I get what Horgy is like for a blockbuster. You know, a movie that's will spend a lot of money. A B+ is like not good. It needs to be at least an A. Anything lower than an A is like a waste of money, almost.
Mhm.
You know, but yeah. Toxic Gamer said, "Rise of Beasts and Spider-Verse are the only movies this month that wasn't a bomb."
No Hard Feelings too.
Yeah,
They only made
but that was super-
7.9 million.
but it was a super
but
low budget.
the budget is so low. It already made back his budget. It's over 10
Yeah.
million over his budget right now. It
Oh
made
Yeah.
wow,
50
that's
million.
crazy.
Yeah.
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 That was
I mean-
all just paying Jennifer Lawrence. That was
Yeah.
it. That was the budget.
Yeah, she's expensive, and she she drew people in.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
me.
True next thing, you know, Mangold is doing Indiana Jones look movie. He's going to make it Indiana. That'd be funny. He's doing
Swamp
was
Swamp
Thing
Thing.
Swamp Thing
Swamp Thing, yeah.
and the First Jedi.
and a Jedi movie.
I'm
So,
so
Literally the first Jedi though. Like
The
it's
first,
supposed to be
yeah.
like the first one ever.
Yeah,
Beginning
I'm
of it all.
so interested to see his approach to Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be good.
that's going to be interesting.
The whole
We'll talk
Jedi
about the
thing,
comics
I feel
that
like it's
he's
going to be different. The whole Jedi thing. If Kathleen Kennedy is not still there, I think that's still up for grabs.
yeah. Right now, yeah. Any time they say like, "Hey, here's a new Star Wars movie," you're like, "Okay, I'll
Let's
believe
see.
it when I
Yeah.
see a trailer." You know, because there's like what a dozen dead movies right now.
Yep.
For a blockbuster, it's bad. Beast or in general are fine for dramas, horror films. Yeah, but for a blockbuster, yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
See Boogeyman. I have not. Not yet.
Yeah, I want to.
Same.
Boogeyman has randomly good legs.
You know I didn't go see no
It's
Boogie.
a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go see a scary movie. It's scary enough to be black. Come on, that's the truth. Forget it.
Hey, look, this is the blackest villain ever. You know, Boogeyman.
No, it's another one, and it's
Yeah,
It's
can't
based in
say.
Chicago. I can't say it because I believe in it. I don't do it. I don't say that.
Candyman.
Oh, how dare you?
You know what? I can't do this.
That's a top 5 moment ever for me.
Never. Don't say that. Those
If you
names.
said it 3 times, I was ready to cut it off like mid.
I know, like yeah, exactly. Like,
That would have been hilarious.
We'll find you in the newspaper tomorrow, man. No.
Stuff with all those bees things.
It's like, yeah.
But yeah, Swamp Thing I hope is like a good horror. Fingers crossed. I will
Yeah,
see.
he said he was like he's inspired by like Frankenstein or Frankenstein's monster while doing this. Yeah, I'm just really interested to see his approach to it, because you usually wouldn't associate that sort of thing with the director like James Mangold, but I'm really interested to. I think it's cool. You know, I think
He's a good director.
he's
I
a
think
really
he
good
has-
director.
And also,
Good,
I gotta say, this movie didn't bomb because of him. Not
No.
his fault at all.
No, he you know, he was. I thought he did fine. He, you know,
Yeah, but he's connected to a movie that's going to bomb that they spent $300 million on, and it's not going to make that money back.
No, and usually
needed to
director.
make over $1 billion to make the money over. There's no way that was happening.
I mean, it's not going to make $300 million. So, it's not going to make that money back. So, I mean,
Yeah. Well, there you go. He goes, especially because Mango is attached to it, and he just bombed here.
so I think that Star Wars thing is going to be up in the air. And I think it was already up in the air because they already knew that Indiana Jones was having bad legs and didn't sound good, and that Kathleen Kennedy might be gone by the time this thing, even starts filming.
Yeah.
And then they might change directors again, like they've already done.
Yeah. That's why there's no Star Wars anything happening if it's not related to Filoni stuff.
Filoni.
So,
Mhm.
But you know, that's a good spot there, and we'll get into the rest of the comments in a little bit. But let's get into our ratings, and then we'll call it a night there. So here we do things a little simple. Now, later, never. Now means go watch it right now. It is worth the time. Don't get spoiled. Later means you can wait till it's streaming. No big deal. Never means just skip it. Don't kill your brain cells. Brandman, what you giving this one?
I'd give this one a later. Like I said, it's even I said this last week after walking out of the theater. You know, I thought it was fine, but it just doesn't. It's nothing that I really feel like you need to rush out to see it. You know, they didn't really. It feels like, you know, the movie just kind of felt very uninspired to me.
Mm-hmm.
As a whole. There, like I said, it wasn't without its merits. It definitely was an improvement over the previous movie. There were things in it that worked, but you know, as an indie movie, it just didn't feel like they cared very much. They just made it just for the sake of making it. You know, it just didn't fill me with that like kind of sense of excitement that I usually associate with Indiana Jones, hence why I enjoy the franchise so much as a whole. But it just, there were things that worked, but as a whole, like, it didn't really like do too much for me. If I never watched the movie again, I wouldn't really feel like I'm missing out on anything either. I freaking hated the character of Helena. I couldn't stand her. I was hoping she'd get hit by a truck. You know, I just, you know, the movie just.
There
the
goes
movie,
the truck.
Yeah. 100 down.
Yeah, the movie just very much exists, and I think that's like not the greatest thing you can say about a movie if it just exists, you know. So you can watch it, but at the same time,
that's the best thing you said about it. You can watch it.
You can watch it, but
it's a movie.
But at the same time, you don't really have to. So,
every movie. You don't have to watch any movie ever.
But with this one, I really mean it. No, so I give it a later. It's fine, but it just didn't really do a whole lot for me.
All right, Zach, what you giving this one?
Why am I always on when Brandon hates the movie? I feel like every time he does this, I hear those exact words.
Hate's a little bit of a strong word in this scenario.
You don't like this movie. I don't know why you. That didn't sound like you like a damn thing about this movie.
You didn't hear me say
you can watch it, but I don't recommend it.
Yeah. You guys asked.
You don't like it.
I like hearing your point. It's fun. It's fun.
I love it. I love it. It's just funny, man.
It's as a movie itself, it's fine. It's just not anything you need to rush to.
There you go.
Despite me liking and kind of loving this film and having a lot of fun and enjoying it, I will say it's a later only because there's nothing super spoilery in it, so you don't have to really run. And it's also so much coming out. We got Oppenheimer, Barbie, Mission Impossible. You can just go watch Spider-Verse again. You can go watch No Hard Feelings. You can. It's just, you know, I don't want to tell you to go run. It's gonna be on Disney Plus and Paramount Plus in 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I'll say you could wait for streaming. Unless you're like a huge Indiana Jones fan, I do think it's worth the watch. But if you're a casual, kind of like me, because I'm new, or like you kind of watch the films but haven't watched it before, I'll just wait for Disney Plus and Paramount Plus. So yeah, I'll give it a later.
Yeah. What you got, Brian?
All right, so I actually think the opposite. I think if you're an Indiana Jones fan, you probably won't like the movie. Is it you know, understand, because you care about the character, you want a new story, you want a very good ending to this iconic character. No matter what, Indiana Jones is an iconic character, and you want an iconic send-off. and I'm not saying that this is a movie. It's an iconic send off. So for those type of reasons, because as much as I've kind of downplayed a lot of it, I didn't hate the movie. I just thought the beginning was good, the middle lagged, and the ending was fine. But that doesn't give me a now movie. That gives you a later, whenever you get a chance. If it's streaming, go ahead and watch the movie. It's better than Crystal Skull, but it's probably I probably liked it the same as Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I didn't like that movie. So it's just okay. To me, it's not that it's not a good one, but it's not a good send off for what it is, for what's supposed to be. So I give it later.
Okay. I'm giving this one later. I had fun with it. It was fun. Like you said, it's probably not the best send off, but it's a better send off than Crystal Skull. And I think that's what they were trying to do. Is like, okay, we can't let that be the last one. Also, I think this was like a test for Lucasfilm besides Star Wars movies. He's like, hey, you have other stuff over here you got to play with too. And I don't know if it's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, another Indiana Jones. That'd be easy money, right? And that's why I kind of feel like it might have been a little bit, but it was fun enough. I had fun with it. It was Indiana Jones with Indiana Jones silliness and being a little over the top at times too and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it was good. It was good, fun, but I would wait till streaming. And then I think you'll enjoy it more at home, where you can pause it and go do something else real quick and then come back to it.
Or you can fold clothes while you're watching it.
Exactly.
You can cook dinner while it's going on. Yeah.
Exactly.
Are they still the same scene? Oh man, that's 10 minutes ago.
They're still doing the big chase. In was it Casablanca or wherever they were at?
That chase scene was fire though.
It was cool. It was super cool. That was a fun chase scene. That's why the action was a lot of fun. The action was a lot of fun. All the chase scenes, the beginning of it, and stuff like that.
The water.
I had a lot of fun. Yeah, the water scene was a lot of fun. But we'll finish it off with Rotten Tomatoes, the tomato meter, which is the critics. 327 critics rated it, and they gave it a 69%, which is still good. It went up. I think it was 65, 66 before.
It was like 64 when the last time I checked.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. So it went up a little bit. And then the audience gave it an 88, and that's 2,500.
I'm surprised they all know how to use computers. That's crazy. I'm telling you, the average age in that movie theater was like 110.
You must be in an old area.
It was like young whippersnapper. I was like, dude, I'm almost 40. He was like, yeah, I remember when I was 40, 80 years ago. I was like, what is going on?
Who saw this movie was between 25 and 39. That's what the numbers came out. Not 110.
I think Brian legit got like a retirement home.
They don't
trip.
call people. I'll tell you, those people don't know. They're on the internet tell you if I saw it or not. They bought real tickets. They don't have an AMC app.
You went in there and got the ticket for the teller. The teller was like, "Hold on, I gotta dust it off."
Exactly. They're like, "Yeah, something to scan? No ticket." Do I
still seats available?
I was like, it starts printing and making that sound. The person's like, "Oh, something's wrong with it." Yeah.
So I'm just telling you that this is what was going on, and I'll tell you the average age. I told you it was so weird. I thought that the whole family was going, and they were bringing their grandfather into something they like to watch when they were younger. That's what I felt like was going on.
Indiana Jones isn't. I mean.
It is
in like older times, but it was released in the 80s, man.
Yeah.
So you do know that's 43 years ago, right?
Okay, but you said 101.
So he was 50. He was 50 when he saw the first one. He's like 93. All right. So
like, people who actually fought in World War II, like going to see this movie. I actually punched a Nazi. Like, yeah.
That's what they were clapping. I remember that day.
I remember punching my first Nazi.
I read on that train. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so but legit, Brian, I think you got in the middle of a retirement home field trip or something.
I wish I took a picture. because it was hilarious.
I
I
would've-
couldn't
I would've-
believe what I was watching.
You should have.
I was like, what?
You should have taken that
Everyone
picture.
in here is like, oh, with a walker. This is crazy.
Yo.
Seriously.
It's 7:00 at night on a Friday. Why are y'all doing this?
Why are y'all doing this?
I would have loved to have seen that. I would have loved to have seen that.
Listen, I thought I was just thinking this myself. I asked my wife. She was like, "Yeah, that's a whole lot of old people. That's crazy." Oh man.
Oh, man.
That is funny. Oh my god. But cool, man. That we went out for a little bit longer than I expected, but it's all good. Yeah, man, we had fun with this movie. You know, and you know, I think a classic movie franchise deserves a full breakdown, especially this one being said it's the last one. So,
Yeah.
you know, we got to actually break it down and see if it's actually worth
They
it.
can't do no more. He's too old.
yeah.
Come on.
No, please, no.
Yeah, no.
You
And-
want to push him out of an airplane again?
Yeah, and by
Just,
the,
Weekends at Bernie's them.
and considering it's been like 15 years between this one and Crystal Skull, by the time they decide to make another one, like Harrison Ford's going to be like strapped to an iron lung.
He's gonna literally look like the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
All right. All right. So thanks everyone for checking out our review. Thanks Zach Attacks for coming in and hanging out with us. It's always a good time. Let everyone know where they can find you, man. One last time.
YouTube channel, Zach Attack Reviews. Do movie reviews, ranking lists, trailer reactions, throwback Thursdays like Brian loves, and so much more. If you want to hit me up on social medias, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff is Zach Attacks RVS, because apparently my name is too long. So yeah, check me out.
Nice. Yeah, I'll put that in the description too for the video, all that stuff, and then put your channel up here above Brian's head. So, but that is it for us on this Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny review. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are you somewhere in between? Let us know your favorite parts, some of the parts you didn't like. We love chit-chatting with all you guys down in the comments. If you want to be with us live and enjoy all the crazy fun madness that we have live, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are live every Monday and Thursday. You too could be part of the show like everyone that you just saw was part of today's show. Appreciate all the comments we had live. Thank you guys. And make sure you tell a friend. Tell them to come check out Spoiler Kings. We are 40 people away, 40 subscribers away from hitting that 1,000. That's super important. We're almost there, and then we're going to be doing a big giveaway and having a good time. And that's going to be a whole special stream that we do. So make sure you help us out with that. But we appreciate everyone coming in, hanging out with us live. If you're watching on replay, thank you guys. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Brandman. Thank you, Brian. But we are going to move on to our next topic for the night.